Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Sports. We are Sun.
Last night, Tampa Bay's offense erupted for 9 runs in the Bronx, capping their 2017 road campaign with a victory. Tonight, the Rays return to Tropicana Field for the final series of the season and send right-hander Jake Odorizzi to the mound, looking to put a big bow on his sensational month of September. The Rays are back home, and with this series against the Baltimore Orioles, they will wrap up the regular season. Tonight from Tropicana Field, Game 1 between the Rays and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Alex Cordery will join us throughout the evening as well. Jake Odorizzi goes to the hill for the Rays, and BA, he has pitched extremely well this final month of the season. In fact, a win tonight could equal his career single season high.
Yeah, looking for number 11. You're absolutely right, Dwayne. And let's refer to Jake Odorizzi as Mr. September, because that's what he's been. When you look at his body of work, he's gone at least 6 innings in 3 of the 4 starts, but look at the numbers. The record, obviously, ERA stands out. The opponent's average, 22 in the 3rd innings. He's given up just 8 hits, striking out 26 batters in that time frame, too. And it has been the stuff. There's been an uptick in the velocity. More cutters we've seen from him, a little bit less of the split change, good curveball every now and then, and all that's added up to a tremendous month, and he wants to put a stamp on that one here tonight.
Coming off the outing in Baltimore, 6 innings Saturday when he gave up just 1 unearned run on 3 hits, 95 pitches, and 9 strikeouts in that one. Well, the Rays down to the final 3. Steven Souza Jr., a breakout year in right field for them. Alex will have more on that when we return.
of the season. And earlier today, it was announced that Souza Jr. was voted the 2017 Don Zimmer MVP Award by the Tampa Bay Chapter Baseball Writers. A big award, certainly deserved the honor because he has had a career year. And that's why 2017 is highlighted in gold for our tonight's Toyota Inside Look. Souza has suited up for 146 games with 141 starts. He has 30 home runs, 78 RBI, 80 walks, 16 steals, and he's hitting .241. He has had himself a year. Not only is he one of the core players on the team, but Souza's a big reason why the future is bright for the Rays.
It's one step in the right direction of a process that I want to head towards, and that's being an impact player day in and day out. And so I think if I can relish in what happened this year and, you know, the fact that I just had great people around me.
It's nice. We did a lot of experiment within the year, kind of had some ups and downs, but we're going to process all that information in the off season and be able to bring it right into the next season, which would be the fun part.
And tonight, Steven Souza Jr. is hitting second in the Rays lineup. First pitch of this 3-game series is coming your way right here on Fox Sports Sun, your home for Rays baseball.
Tonight at Tropicana Field, it will be Jake Odorizzi, the 27-year-old right-hander, heading to the mound for the Rays in search of his 11th win. Squaring off against the Baltimore Orioles, and a familiar figure right there atop the lineup for Baltimore, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Tim Beckham in the leadoff spot at short, followed by Jonathan Scope and Manny Machado. Chris Davis at first. It's cleanup in front of Trey Mancini. Wellington Castillo, the catcher, bats 6. The DH is Pedro Alvarez. Austin Hayes in center. And in right field, batting 9th, Anthony Santander.
Jake Odorizzi's going to take the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays, making his 28th start of the season, looking for that 11th win. ERA 4.26, and on the season against these Orioles, a perfect 2-0 record, 3.86 earned run average in 3 starts.
Well, here's Beckham stepping in. Baltimore starts the night 75 and 84. The Rays 77 and 83. Rays running third in the East, 2 games up on Baltimore. And the first pitch, a cut and a miss, strike 1. So we are underway right on time, 10 minutes past the hour.
He's had such a good September. Why waste time? I mean, when the bell rings, answer. That's what Jake's done all month long.
And this one just missing, down and away. Headed to short. It's Robertson out there tonight for the Rays, and he takes care of Beckham.
Well, got him on the cutter, and that has been a big pitch for Jake Odorizzi, especially when you talk about getting some ground balls. Let's take a look at the Rays defense for you, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in that outfield left to right, Cesar Puello, Peter Borges, and Steven Souza Jr. And across the infield third to first, Trevor Plouffe, Daniel Robertson, Brad Miller, and Logan Morrison. Kurt Casale will be behind the plate.
Jonathan Scope. One ball, no strikes. Scope ended 295, and boy, he's had a great year. Over 100 runs batted in. He fouls this one back. 1-1. His career highs all across the offensive side of his game. Average right now at 295, 105 runs batted in.
Boy, you know he would love to get that average to 300. Now, whether you have to be so hot, and there's a start.
Base hit out of the reach of Robertson, picked up in center field by Borges.
A 4-seam fastball, and that ball starts to tail just a little bit. And Jonathan Scope, a strong man. We saw that with the power numbers, 32 homers, 105 driven in, and he gets his arms extended. That ball's going to jump off the bat, even if it's on the ground.
Well, of these hitters in the lineup here for Baltimore tonight, Scope and Machado have had the greater part of the success. Davis behind them. The success against Odorizzi in Jake's career. Pitch is down, 1-0. Machado with 11 career hits, 4 of those home runs against Jake. One and one.
That's that little cutter, and at times it'll get a little bit of depth to it. It's not a true slider, and sometimes it doesn't even appear to be a true cutter. But that has been a pitch here over this month of September that has been big for Jake. He really has almost scrapped the slider. We haven't seen too many of those. A lot more cutters.
Yeah, if you see a couple sliders, that's about it. Ground ball down to third. Plouffe to Miller, 1 and over to first. 5-4-3 on the double play. And we're going to head into the bottom of the first inning. No score. lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. And tonight in center field leading off is Peter Borges. Steven Souza Jr. hits second in front of Evan Longoria, who is the designated hitter. Logan Morrison's at first. Cesar Puello hits fifth and left. Trevor Plouffe at third, the number 6 hitter, followed by Kurt Casale, Brad Miller, and Daniel Robertson.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Baltimore Orioles, left-hander Wade Miley looking for a positive end to what has been a rocky season for him in 2017. He's been healthy enough to make all of his starts, but the results, 8-14 record, ERA 5.52, not exactly what he had in mind in heading to spring training.
First pitch, Peter Borges takes a strike. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Miley not the overpowering sort. And after the fastball, he has Borges out in front of that pitch.
You know what? And you may see some of these Rays hitters stepping out on Wade Miley, because as you can see, he gets the ball back from the catcher and he is right back up on the rubber ready to go.
It's a popper foul, going to land out of play.
And nothing frustrates a pitcher more. I shouldn't say that. One of the frustrating things is guys stepping out on you. I like to work quickly too, and when guys would be asking for time to try to slow down the pace, not a fan.
And Borges tried to check out on that pitch up as he went after it. That is the first out on a strikeout.
Pretty good sequence there by Miley to start this ball game out. Away for the first 3, and then all of a sudden he pops one up and in, and you get Borges to commit a little bit too far on that swing.
Hard for me to believe that you would be upset by anyone who tried to interrupt your rapid pace.
You know what, and I know that your tongue is firmly in cheek right now, because you get a lot of time with me up here before the lights go on. So, you know, let's just stop that right there. You know, like Alex Cobb so succinctly said yesterday, it's a tired act. Let's just be done with it.
Just agreeing with what you said.
Yeah, but I can hear all the chuckling behind me in the booth, and that's not too cool.
Sensitive as well.
Isn't everybody? Everybody's very
only
touchy.
2+ games to go now.
We can do it.
And Souza Jr. takes it down 2-1. Yeah, a couple days after the season, everybody's going to be sad. Well, maybe 3 or 4 to 5 days. Well, the Rays trying to finish this one up on a positive note. They're in 3rd place in the Eastern Division. They have Baltimore and Toronto trying to finish up strong as well. This one is down.
Both of these managers, you know, you're going to see some young guys and some guys that maybe didn't get a lot of playing time get a look, but they're also going to be trying to win these games big time too, because there weren't many movement in the standings.
Back-to-back strikeouts by Miley.
Well, by the way, the season series right now between these two teams is 8-8, so they'd like to win that too. See the Oriole defense brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, Trey Mancini, Austin Hayes, and Anthony Santander. Across the infield, 3rd to 1st, we've got Machado, Beckham, Scope, and Davis, with Wellington Castillo behind the plate.
Evan Longoria, the designated hitter. That pitch is a strike down around the knees. He has 5 career hits off Miley, all for extra bases. 3 doubles and 2 home runs. And there's another strike. 0-2. So Smiley working quickly and just as quickly out in front of Evan.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that last fastball, I know Evan didn't like it. That is a perfect pitcher's pitch, and he did get the call.
And a swing and a miss. Longoria out on 3 pitches as Miley strikes out the side. We go to the 2nd, no score. Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Rain outside. Fans still making their way in. Opening game of the series. And Chris Davis steps in. Davis, the cleanup man for Buck Showalter's team. Rizzi. This is a little low right there. 1 ball, no strikes.
It's been a down year for Chris Davis. The average 219, home runs lower than you'd hope for. Just signed a big deal with this team too.
And I think what they're really concerned about, they wanted more than 61 runs batted in from Chris Davis.
Yep. Absolutely right. And you know, I think he signed a 7-year deal, and he's in year 2 of that, so he's going to be around a while. And we'll see, and obviously we'll have a front row seat for it, as will the Rays, but see if he does anything to refine his approach. Severe uppercut swing.
Talking with some of the Baltimore people about their season and kind of comparing notes between the Rays and the Orioles. And the Orioles very reliant upon the home run as well. And they've gone through stretches where the offense has disappeared on them. And you would think that it would be less likely for that to happen to them than the Rays, simply because of their home ballpark.
Well, but here's a great example. You know, the book is out on Chris Davis with that swing. Look at the 2 fastballs by Jake Odorizzi. They're not even up and out of the zone. They're in the zone, just elevated, and he just continually swings underneath them. Fortunately for him here, that pitch just ran off the plate. Jake trying to get him 3 in a row on that same fastball.
So a walk after falling behind him. Davis ahead, and now Trey Mancini. Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Chris Coors Light. Trey Mancini has stepped right in, carries a 16-game hitting streak right now, and he's hit 24 home runs, so he fits right in with this lineup. A ball, no strikes.
Hey, you just wonder. Well, and we'll watch and see. But you know, do you try to mix in some different types of players, different types of hitters, because they really are. I mean, just arm in arm in lockstep with their approach. I mean, you start to think about, right, you know, Chris Davis and Mark Trumbo and Adam Jones and, you know, Machado, and Scope's been able to do it and maintain a very high average at the same time. But it's a lot of all or nothing guys jammed into one lineup.
Yeah, 7 hitters with 20 or more home runs in this Baltimore lineup.
It's one of those lineups where, as a pitcher, if you're locked in with your command, you can saw through them. If you're shaky just a little bit, it beat you up pretty good.
Now it's 2-2. Yeah, you miss location on these guys. A couple of fat pitches, and baseball has a fat lip from how far they can hit it.
I like it.
I'm telling you, this is a power-laden lineup. We're seeing 6 of those 7 hitters with 20 or more home runs in the lineup tonight.
Well, and they were attempting to put on a show today in batting practice. It was home run derby, baby. I mean, launching one after the other.
Chris Davis has walked. He's at first.
Speaking of fat lip.
Cut and a miss. Mancini chasing that high fastball. First strikeout for Jake Odorizzi.
Went right to the top of the zone. Fastball at 92. Good life. Stays behind it, drives it. See that pitch, how it just, I mean, seemingly climbed through the strike zone.
You know, that's a great thing about Odorizzi, to watch him at the end of this season. He's finishing the season as if he's fresh and ready to start a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, a lot of guys will be able to maintain their stuff, maybe not the command, maybe the stuff actually starts to suffer at the end, but his seemingly is getting better.
Yep. You know, you'll see some guys come right out of the block of the season strong, maybe looking to their command to sharpen that up a little bit sometimes. But Jake here late in the season, there's a little tap. Here we are in the closing series, making his final appearance. And boy, during this run he's had, we talked about in the open, he not only has great results, but he's looked good doing it. I mean, you can understand why he's had this run of success.
I think that he's found a formula that works. I think junking the slider for the most part and going with that cutter has been a big boost. You know, the split changeup, he'll sprinkle that in, not as prominent as it once was, and you know, some early curveballs to get ahead. But I think that he finally has found a formula that works, and he's pitching obviously with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's been four-seamer and a cutter, and the occasional split change, and then that curveball he'll drop in just for fun and just to amuse us and give us a little change of pace too. Runner takes off. The pitch is chopped foul. Dickerson makes the pickup.
Nothing wrong with dropping the occasional deuce.
That's right. Alex Cobb has made a habit of that this year.
Yeah. All season long.
Two balls, two strikes, the count. And now it's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first with 1 out. Full count on the Baltimore catcher. It's Chris Davis over at first. So Rays got out of the first on a double play ball thrown by Odorizzi to Machado. 3-2 to Castillo. He chops it down the third base side, but this time it's foul.
Wellington Castillo getting an opportunity, you know, with Matt Wieters leaving this team. He was a Baltimore mainstay, but Castillo's put up a nice season offensively. One of the 7 guys with at least 20 home runs. He did that in the middle of September.
Three-two again. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Castillo started to move toward first. He thought the pitch was wide, and Odorizzi gets the call.
Well, he may have a point. However, you know, the pitches are going to be close. You've got to swing at him. You've got an offer, and that ball may have just been off, but certainly close enough to be called. And Wellington Castillo should be telling Vic Carapazza, okay, that's fine, but we get that pitch too.
So 2 outs. Pedro Alvarez, the DH. And he swings and misses the breaking ball. Strike 1. You know, Vic Carapazza working the plate tonight. Young umpire, just 38 years old, made his debut in the major leagues here back in 2010 in a game against the Yankees, and the Rays won that game 9-3. High popper, short left. Puello is there and makes the catch. Alvarez out of there. Man left on. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Raise half of the second inning. MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Here's Logan Morrison stepping in against the left-hander Wade Miley. Pitch is a ball inside. Miley struck out the side in the first inning. All three hitters out swinging third strikes. 2-0. Puello's going to be next, and then Plouffe. Popper back foul, out of play. It's 2-1. Puts Morrison way up in the count.
Wade Miley has let Logan Morrison know exactly how he's going to pitch him here in this at bat. 4 straight fastballs in. Stay right in there.
And there's ball 4. So Morrison heads to first.
It was sharp as he was in the first inning. It makes you wonder if he was even really all in on that sequence there to Logan Morrison, because as soon as he fell behind, he was really picking with that fastball in there, and that's a dangerous place because, boy, you miss in. This is the lesser of two evils. You go ahead and walk him, but that ball catches a little too much plate, and it's 1-0 Rays.
So Morrison's at first for Puello, and a move to first. Well, you put him over there, and then you try to pick him off, and you saw Morrison somehow got back. Miley with 4 pickoffs this year.
He had him. The throw was high. Boy, if the throw is even thigh high, forget even on the bag. If the throw's just close, Logan Morrison is out by plenty. But the throw being high, Davis had to reach and then reach a long way for the tag. He slipped in there.
And the Orioles deciding whether they wanted to maybe try to make an issue of that. Decide not to.
Boy, he had him. He had him. That throw gets there in plenty of time. But look how Chris Davis, how far he had to reach. That was very close.
Now a ball to Puello.
I think if that same pickoff happens in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning of a tight game, they go take a look at that. Don't want to blow it early.
As we can see there, you have to be careful with Miley out there. Just a little foul ball against a part of the catcher, Castillo. It's 1-1. Miley has walked more than any other pitcher in the league. That's 89 walks given up by him this year. And just over 154 innings.
Yeah, that really has led to his issues. You know, when you think about a guy who's not a stuff guy, and so you're going to rely a little bit more on finesse and setting hitters up, and you give that many free passes, you're asking for trouble.
Another toss. It's high over to first. Miley averaging over 19 pitches an inning. And he has Puello out in front. 2-2. For that matter, Jake Odorizzi has made more pitches per inning this year than he would like. 18 19.5 pitches, and Miley's up at 19.3.
Yeah, and for two completely different reasons. You know, Miley's the walks, and Jake Odorizzi, for the most part, are all the foul balls.
Yep. This is a foul ball and out of play.
Boy, an attempt there by Stanley. I think he actually made it. He reached back there and catch out with his left hand. Well, I'm going to say that he did. Heck of a play.
Why not? Yes, give it to him. Ground ball back at third, backhanded by Machado. Out at second, safe at first. Machado, I'll tell you, this guy, every time the Rays play him, he does something at third base that you think is impossible.
Where he fielded the ground ball and ends up in foul territory, Dwayne, and you're absolutely right. The throw, how he got that to Scope, and oh, by the way, right on the money. He's falling back towards the dugout. I mean, all the momentum heading directly towards the stands up the left field line, and he gets that throw over to Scope with something on it and accurate.
Now Puello at first, and he's back in as Smiley goes over there. Yeah, we've seen some great play at third. Of course, we've seen Longoria make great plays, and it really does in the season series between these two teams. Foul ball into the screen. Machado all season long has turned in one great play against the Rays after another.
He is absolutely one of the best down there. Certainly probably make the case that he is the best athlete, pure athlete, playing third base.
Strike catching the corner on Plouffe.
Strong arm, accurate arm, and he can make throws from all different angles. I mean, coming in, going away.
And Plouffe out front again, and he's out on 3 pitches. 4th strikeout for Wade Miley.
Boy, how good's the changeup been here in the early going? Throws that pitch with conviction, and you see Plouffe thinking that he's on it just a little bit too early.
Now Kurt Casale spent the year at AAA Durham. One for 4 in a Rays uniform. 263 with the Durham Bulls. One ball, 1 strike. Puello, the runner at first. That's on the outside corner. 1-2. That come out of play.
Well, the fastball changeup combo and the way that Miley uses it when he's able to throw strikes and command the zone is one way to take some aggressiveness away from a hitter. You get him caught in between, kind of like the way that you see Brad Boxberger do it when he's right. You know, guys they get caught flat-footed in the box. And the fastball jumps on him a little bit. The changeup, they're off balance and out in front.
Pitch is down, 2-2, and on that pitch, Puello was headed back to first.
Well, you know what? A good move, and the scare of the pickoff move to Logan Morrison will get that Rays dugout's attention. And yeah, if you're not convinced, I mean, If you're going to run on a lefty, you have to run on first movement, but you've got to read him to the plate, and it can't at times not be easy.
Strike 3 right out on that corner. Off speed, gets him looking. A man left. We go to the 3rd. No score. Rays and the Orioles, no score. Be one of the first 15,000 fans in attendance tomorrow when the Rays again meet the Orioles and receive a burst car emblem courtesy of the Florida Department of Transportation. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Austin Hayes, the young outfielder playing center field tonight, leads off the 3rd. Pitch down and away, 1-0. Some youth in this outfield tonight for Baltimore. Mancini in left and Hayes in center. Santander will hit next, is in right field. Collection of talent. Roller by the mound. Miller's there on the shortstop side of the bag to make the play. That's a 4-3 putout.
Well, the Rays already have the book on Austin Hayes, and we saw that in that series in Baltimore where he really uses the middle of the field well. And I think that's important for any young hitter. You're not going to be a big masher, and he will hit some home runs. Took one out to right field in Yankee Stadium. But, boy, using the middle of the field and hitting the ball the other way, one way to maintain average. And Dwayne, when we talked about him and his averages down in the minor leagues, I think it was 328 in A ball and 330 in Double A. I mean, that's how you do it. Use the middle of the field the other way.
1-0 the count to Santander. Here's another young man, actually a Rule 5 pick out of the Cleveland organization, a man from Venezuela, and the Orioles are very high on him. He spent a good part of this year on the disabled list, and so as a Rule 5 player, they'll get to see him in a handful of games here in September, and he's still going to be in a position next year where they're going to have to keep him, I think, 40 or 40 some days on their roster. Otherwise they'll have to offer him back, and I think they want to keep him. They're very high on his ability.
Watched a little bit of video of him this afternoon and saw him getting to some high velocity fastballs up in the zone, away from him, as a switch hitter, and doing big things with him. You talk about a quick bat. Saw, you know, a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, middle of the plate up, that he rocketed out to right center field, got on top of. You don't see a lot of guys being able to do that, but he will be susceptible to off speed, as most young hitters are.
A 2-2 count. He chops it by the mound. Robertson there with the pickup and the throw. This time Robertson from shortstop was shaded way to his left and came on to make that play on a ball headed toward the middle.
Nice job of fielding that ball, throwing on the run. Rays now 2 quick outs here in the third.
And now Tim Beckham was out short to first his first time. Pitch is a strike. Beckham with 22 home runs on the year, 10 of those with Baltimore. He went over from the Rays to Baltimore and was red hot and then cooled. Pitch is up, 1-1 overall starting the night, hitting .280, and you combine his home run numbers between the Rays and Baltimore, 22 home runs. Oh, 1-2. 59 with the Rays and 311 coming into this game with Baltimore.
Yeah, getting it done with the power, slugging percentage way up, average.
And he is out on strikes. 1, 2, 3. Go the Orioles. Bottom of the third inning coming up. No score.
And we are joined now by a very special guest, Mitch Lukovic, Rays Director of Minor League Operations, and his grandson, Billy. But Mitch, starting out, congratulations. What a year it was. 4 teams made the playoffs. 2 teams won championships. What can you say about what the Rays minor league teams accomplished this year?
Well, it's great. We had the 5th best winning percentage of all of minor league baseball for major league clubs. But winning in Durham and winning in Hudson Valley, it's great because it's 2 different teams. We have a veteran team, although Willie and Bowers and these guys are young. It's a different mixture. But in Hudson Valley, we have a lot of really good first-year, second-year players that will eventually get to Durham. So it's a great combination of winning. We love our players to win. We need them to learn how to win.
When you bring up Durham, winning the AAA National Championship, how valuable was that experience for these young players?
Well, it's great. It's great for Durham, and like we talked about with all the clubs, playing meaningful games in August so they get to play in a championship caliber atmosphere. It's special for Durham. It's the highest level, and then winning the national championship game is just the creme de la creme for the guys.
No doubt about that. Now, one of the top prospects for the Rays is Willy Adames. How high is his ceiling?
Well, his ceiling is as high as he wants it to go. He's a special person, both athletically, and he's like the Pied Piper, the personality, the intangibles, as we call it, because he's coachable. His attitude's great. His ability to learn is wonderful. So you'll see him in the near future. When, I don't know, but he has that type of ability, Alex.
Who should we expect to see in a Rays uniform come 2018? Any previews you can give us?
Yeah, well, you know, we had a great year with Brent Honeywell, Ryan Yarbrough. Of course, we said Willie, Jake Bowers, just to mention a few. It's always hard to single out, but I'm happy to say we have strength in numbers, Alex.
No question. Well, the future looks very bright, and thank you so much for your time, Mitch.
Thank you.
All right, Alex, thank you. And Mitch with his scouting assistant down there. And, you know, the Rays, I think it's interesting how organizations, for some reason, some will develop hitters, some will develop pitchers, and the Rays have this niche in the pitching department. Kevin Cass said a week or so ago there are half a dozen, maybe 6, 7 pitchers he thinks in the system could help right away with the big club. I mean, that's some pitching development depth going on right there.
Yeah, and it could get to the point that there's a numbers crunch. And so that'll be interesting to see.
Base hit the other way for Borges. Down to second goes Robertson. Robertson walked on 4 pitches. And Borges follows with a base hit. 2 men on with 1 out. Down to Chirinos, the pitcher of the year, 13-5. And Jesus Sanchez, the player of the year, is at Bowling Green. Remember the hot rods there.
There you go. I'll tell you what, you look at the numbers from these two guys, it'd be hard to argue that you could find anybody better. I mean, Chirinos, dominant pitching numbers, and Sanchez, average, the extra base hit, the fact that he's scoring runs, driving in runs, well-rounded at the plate.
Steven Souza Jr. It was fun to do. You get a chance to see some of the young players in the spring. You don't see a lot of them, but enough to maybe identify some ability. And you kind of just keep track of them, what they do over the summer with the various clubs. And you may have a handful of names coming out of spring training when you start the big league season of young players that maybe you want to keep an eye on. This one is foul. And the interesting part about that is somewhere about the middle or later in the season, you start to recognize a couple names with numbers that are really pretty good that were not on your radar in the spring. And that's the great thing about developing young players, because they'll develop and suddenly start to put things together, and you think, well, you know, this kid's got a chance to get to the big leagues and help.
I'm going to tell you something. When I was in Buffalo with the Indians in '96, '97, you're on that shuttle back and forth, as a few of us were all season long. We had a kid, Damian Jackson. He plays with the Padres a little bit. And I have never seen in the course of one season, from opening day, he was our 9-hole hitter. And you had a fastball above 86, 87, you could knock the bat out of his hands. Midway through the and by the way, and as a shortstop, erratic, you know, and that was his story. Halfway through the year, he became our leadoff guy with power, made every play in the field, including spectacular plays. I have never seen, and I don't care at what level, I've never seen a player make the progress that Damian Jackson made during the course of one season. I've seen guys, you know, after 1 year come into spring training next year and make that jump. I've never seen it during the season, and it is fascinating to watch.
Yeah, those are great stories, and stories like that, like we heard Alex with Mitch there, those are the things that keep guys in the development program, Mitch, and all of the people in that department. It keeps them going. They get excited about that.
Did you see how answering the questions?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's got to be a thrill, because there's a new crop to do it with every single year. When the draft is over, you start again. And then watch guys climb their way through the system.
Well, a couple walks here around a base hit. Borges a single, now a walk to Souza Jr. And suddenly the Rays have the bases loaded with Evan Longoria about to step in, and Castillo has a little conversation now with Miley.
You know, this is what can drive you crazy about Wade Miley. You see at times how good he can be and dominant. Struck out the side in the first inning. Good changeup, works quickly. And then all of a sudden he can lose it. Start to add up with the walks, and now finds himself in big, big trouble.
Evan struck out on 3 pitches in the first. Bases loaded here in the third with just 1 out. And he takes ball 1. Well, Miley was an all-star with Arizona back in 2012. Won 16 games. He's fouled back 16 and 11. And since then he's gone 46 and 60 with an earned run average over 4.5. And there's been moments like this where all of a sudden it just goes away.
Yeah, a lot of self-inflicted wounds.
Now 2 balls and a strike. Fastball too high at that time. They've been trying to snap what is now an 0 for 20 streak. Good time for it. And now he goes to 2-2. Changeup out over the plate, but he was out in front.
Yeah, well, Miley's got a good one. That's a gutsy pitch in a 2-1 count with the bases loaded. But he throws it with conviction, and even though that's not exactly the location you'd like it, Evan Longoria swung at the arm speed.
Now the count is full.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him come right back with another. You've got to at least account for it. That's what he's done here in the early going because the pitch has been so effective.
(3-2). Ground ball headed towards short. Beckham goes to scope 1. Davis can't scoop it at first. The run scores, and the Rays get the first run of the night. Robinson crosses the plate. Borges goes to third. Turns out to be a fielder's choice with Souza forced at second.
Boy, they had a chance there because that ball was sharply hit by Longoria, and Beckham does a nice job of getting there and feeding Scope. But Scope's got to get rid of it in a hurry because Evan Longoria is busting it out of the box. Doesn't want to end that inning on the double play. That throw low cannot be scooped. That's a nice feed.
He just hung the throw out there right over the bag for Scope to grab. First and third with a run home. Here's Logan Morrison, and he's out in front. Morrison walked his first time. Longoria at first, driving in the run with the fielder's choice ground ball. 84 runs batted in for Longoria. Morrison up here with 83 on the year. And that's a strike, a little bit away from him. But on the plate, the count is 0-2. Cut to miss. Morrison out. So the fastball gets him. The Rays settle for a run. They leave a couple and lead 1-0. third. We go to the fourth. It's 1-0. Be sure to stay tuned in the 7th inning for the Jeep Compass game break. Rich and Orestes will have highlights from around Major League Baseball. Well, the Rays and the Orioles starting today in the East. The Rays in 3rd place, 2 games ahead of Baltimore, 2 games up on Toronto. Toronto lost today. And the Rays lead this one. Scope leads off the 4th and pops it foul. That will carry out a play. Strike 1. One. Back into center field. Borges on the move is there and runs it down. Nice route there by Borges in center to go get that fly ball hit by Jonathan Scope.
You know, Peter Borges has some experience under his belt and a good outfielder. He runs well, and you see where he's positioned, and he gets right on his horse and a pretty efficient route right there, and makes what could have been a difficult play look rather mundane.
Yeah, and he has a knack for doing that. I mean, these aren't just routine plays he's running down. That's a nice catch out there by Borges in center.
Going to town on some seeds too.
Strike to Manny Machado. Fastball.
Better have some reinforcements.
One and one. Two balls and a strike to count to Machado. So as the Rays try to finish out this season, finish high as they can in the standings, they need a win here over Baltimore to solidify 3rd place. Hot shot foul.
Oh
yeah, that caromed, and even on the carom a little too hot to handle.
I guess that just shows that he's human, because we don't see that often here at Tropicana Field, and he's going to get an earful right now. That came off hot, but got over the glove.
You have to understand, this is Major League bullpen to protect down here.
Yeah. Yep. Some commodities down there. Hey, Baltimore's got a good pen. Chris Tillman, 2 down. Enar Diaz. So get caught in Buffalo with him. He's a coach.
It's a liner, and it's going to be fair. We'll kick back toward Cuello, but Machado's on his way to second. Stand-up double, his 33rd double of the year.
Boy, did you see how Machado was able to keep his hands back? The body started to commit to the off-speed delivery, the pitch that had a little less velo. There it is, the curveball. But he keeps the hands back, and he's able to just lengthen that swing and at the same time keep that ball fair. Boy, that's a nice job by Manny Machado. It's what makes him special.
Yeah, and 2 great looks at that too on the replay. Just really good work there on him going down.
Yep.
And to be able to see what he did. Good job by our crew there.
Oh, they're locked in. Everybody wants to finish strong.
Now runner trying to go to third, and he's going to be out as Machado runs into Plouffe's glove. And he is cut down trying to get into third.
Well, he's trying to take advantage of Plouffe being off the bag and catch these guys napping. And Curt Casali ends up becoming a quarterback. He's got a receiver breaking to the bag, and he's got to lead him right there. And here it is. Casali up with the throw, makes a nice one. And Plouffe just reaches back and is able to tag Machado and then give him the forearm shiver, too.
So nice job on both ends there, Casali and Plouffe, to cut down Machado. Pitch was a strike. And Davis waves through this one.
Well, you see how Chris Davis has that extreme uppercut swing. And like we said before, you miss your location and he's going to hit it a mile. If you can get it over that swing.
He is out on strikes. No runs ahead, a caught stealing, nobody left. Bottom of the fourth coming, 1-0 Rays. Coming on to the bottom half of the fourth inning, El Dorado Furniture invites you to settle in tomorrow when the Rays take on the same Baltimore Orioles ball club. Coverage begins at 5:30 p.m. with Rays Live. Here's Arpuello, a big cut and a miss on the off-speed pitch.
Arpuello, a big, strong guy, aggressive young hitter. And so Wade Miley starts him right off with that changeup, going to go right back to it.
Well, it's really great, you know, pitchers, off-speed guys who do what Smiley's trying to do. In their own way, they're sort of psychologists, you know. They read hitters' body language, their personality when they try to get out front, get hitters out in front, things like that, change speeds. That's a fun little cat and mouse game there.
You know, yeah, and you know, you have the scouting report. If you've had a history with a guy, you could sit down and watch the video of him facing you. Forget the general scouting report. I can see specifically what this guy's trying to do off of me. And then all that's great, but it relies on two things. Number one, you've got to be able to execute. And number two, you've got to be able to notice if he's making an in-game adjustment, or maybe he's made an adjustment coming into that game. And so you've got to be able to recognize that and be able to switch up the plan on the fly. You know, there were guys, plenty of guys that I'd go out there and, you know, face them a lot of times, and I could go down and away with the fastball, get strike one. They're waiting for something middle in, a mistake. All of a sudden, first pitch fastball down, and you could close them out in late. Now, first pitch fastball down and away. He dives out over the plate. Oh, that hit the
high pop up, and that ball is a fair ball. Cuello's aboard at first. You saw Castillo trying to catch it, almost trying to backhand it with his mitt and reaching with that mitt, and it's a fair ball. And now here comes Buck Showalter.
Well, yeah, listen, there are two big speakers right above home plate, and it hit the metal plating right in between them, and it hit it hard. That's why that thing went up, and it came down quick, because it hit that thing very hard. And if that's in fair territory, then that's gonna be right there.
Well, and that's going to be the interesting call here. You know, they years ago put those yellow markers up on the, I guess it's the B and the C rings down the lines to help with a call like that. But there's really nothing as you come toward the apex that home plate would be of the foul lines. And so the umpires are going to try to get together and figure out what this call is. Now, the initial call was fair, but that's where the mitt was when they tried to make the play. Normally, if that ball hits the superstructure up here in foul territory, then it's a dead ball.
It went
but
right
if it hits fair, then whatever happens and comes down is still live.
Yeah, and you just have to, I mean, who knows if that's fair or not. But I think this probably has a good chance of staying going the Rays' way. That ball definitely was coming down in fair territory, but it whacked that thing pretty good. You could hear it.
And they're gonna have Puello remain at first and then explain this situation to Buck Showalter. And to do that is Mike Everett, the crew chief down there. And I really think, you know, if you reverse roles, Kevin Cash would be taking the role that Buck Showalter's in right now. It is what it is, fellas. And they've determined that Puello is going to be at first base. And this is just something else that Buck can add to his list. He does like the bullpens down the right and left field lines. And so this will be added to that list.
Yeah. No, and you know what? Listen, we may have our coverage of the post game sneak in on Buck Showalter's press conference after the game, because this will get asked and he'll have some very kind things to say about this building.
There you are. So he's continuing this conversation with the umpiring crew. Buck disappearing back into the dugout. And Mike Everett about halfway toward the dugout, continuing his communication with Buck Showalter.
You know, and here's the other thing Buck's got to realize, and I'm sure that he does, but you've got your pitcher out there on the mound. You'd like to keep him in some rhythm. This long delay doesn't benefit Wade Miley at all. But he, you know, I guarantee you that Buck right now is basically talking about how he's not a big fan of this building.
I think you're right. But at the end of all of this, Puello's going to be at first base. So the Rays will have the leadoff man on base for the second time in the first 4 innings of this game. Puello gets a hit, and here's Plouffe. Fouls it back, and again on that delivery, Puello was headed back to first.
Then just do Little League leadoff. Just get in a running position with your heel on the bag and be ready to go. It can be a tough read. Wade Miley's got a good move.
Now a strike, and it's 0-2.
And think about this. You're a young player is getting an opportunity here the last little bit of the season to impress going into the offseason. The last thing you want to do is reach base with nobody out and get picked off.
Yeah, that's exactly
Not
right.
too good.
The popper on the right side, and Scope makes the catch for this one.
You know, that was like when I was in the National League.
Yeah, I'd get on base as a hitter in my own game, and it was no big deal. You lead off, you do whatever. You steal a bag without the sign. You do whatever you got to do, Dwayne. But when I would go into a game as a pinch runner,
pressure.
Yeah, this isn't my spot, and I can't screw this up for our guys.
Yep.
So you better be paying attention, have your head on a swivel, because that's the thing. The way the ball moves around the infield, these guys, they love to throw behind guys. If you're a little bit lazy, getting back to the bag on a secondary league, they'll nail you.
Yep. Yeah. And that's part of how the game speeds up. I mean, and we've talked about this a lot before, but it's a quick game when you're down there.
Oh, one of the truest things that I've ever heard during a rain delay, Mike Hargrove, we were discussing, the game of baseball, just talking about it, and he said, the funny thing about this game, the further you get away from it, the easier it looks. Talking about sitting in the stands, talking about being in the dugout, in the stands, watching a game on. He said, you watch a game on TV and it looks like a piece of cake.
Yep.
Just keep throwing it there. He can't hit it. He said, but then you get yourself out there on that field. Wow.
Yeah.
This stuff moves.
Yeah, that's why I've always maintained that to the average person, there's no such thing as a routine play. These ground balls, it's a routine ground ball. No, it's not a routine ground ball, believe me.
Yeah. No, these guys make it look routine.
That's exactly right. And on his fist, a little blooper, short right. That's going to drop. Puello advances to second. Scope had to chase that one into foul territory. So Puello's at second and Casale's at first. And how about this rally for the Rays? A ball hitting one of the speakers and then coming back what appeared to be fair. Puello reaches, and now with one out, Casale jammed and just bloops this one in there for a base hit.
Hit that with his forearm and just lifted it out there into shallow right. How about this ball getting in a little bit, and you see he's trying to pull those hands through and do the best he can to get that barrel to it. Wasn't able to do it, but how about the placement?
Brad Miller takes it down. Miller line to right his first time. And against the lefty. He's had a tough time against Wade Miley. Lefty on lefty. Had 1 of 10 against him. 2 balls, no strikes. Yeah, an inning like this can't be fun for the pitcher.
Oh,
and number one, the hits he's given up and the long delay in between. Now he's behind Miller. And there's that 3-0 strike. 3-1.
Just don't bounce it.
Yeah, that's right. Keep it airborne. You got a shot. It's foul, out of play, full count. He's in the Orioles tomorrow and then on Sunday, and that's it. And ball 4. And loads the bases. Another walk given up by Miley. 4 walks he's given up in what is to this point 3 1/3 innings. Daniel Robertson, who walked and scored in the 3rd, hits with the bases loaded. Pitch is too low, 1-0.
The inability to threaten the strike zone with consistency is really hurting Wade Miley, driving that pitch count way high. A lot of extra base runners and a chance here for the Rays to really get into him a little bit.
2 balls, no strikes. Cuello third, Casale second, Miller first. And a strike to Robertson, 2-1. That squares the count. 2-2. Well, a full count now. Ground ball, foul outside of third. May have broken his bat there. Check it over. Bases loaded, 1 out. This next pitch will be the 7th of this at bat. Two is popped up, foul. That will carry into the stands, forcing another pitch. And the Orioles get some action up in their bullpen. That's Chris Tillman loosening down the left field line. Ball 4 upstairs. So that forces home a run. 5th walk of the night issued by Miley. Cuello comes across the plate. Well, you think about this. 2 hits in their own way tainted and then a couple of walks. Miley is struggling with the control, and the Rays have taken advantage of that to build a 2-0 lead.
Well, and he's out there very upset, with himself, and I'm sure how this inning has gone, those hits that we talked about. But boy, he is doing a lot of damage to himself. The free passes, the deep counts, the free base runners, the Rays have been able to capitalize, still have an opportunity to really get this thing opened up. And for Wade Miley, he's running out of time with Chris Tillman down there warming. He's got a hitter or 2 left, maybe 1.
A run home, bases still loaded, 1 out for the top of the order, Peter Borges. Borges, after the first pitch, lifts a fly ball center. Hayes sets up to make the catch. Tag at third. Casale will head to the plate and scores standing. And the Rays pick up another run.
Now just deep enough to be able to get Casale home, and Austin Hayes really didn't get any momentum going towards home plate and catch that and throw it all in one motion. He kind of catches it, then he starts moving towards home plate. He had plenty of time to get some forward momentum, doesn't take it, catch, and now you got to go. That just takes far too long, and even though he's got a strong arm, it's not going to be there nearly in time.
Yeah, and you wonder about that. He's a young outfielder playing here.
Yeah.
Some outfielders will go back on that and get more momentum coming toward the plate. There's a line shot off the bat of Souza Jr. caught by Davis at first base. And boy, Souza, if he gets that one by Davis, you got runners all over the place. 3-0 Rays.
The Rays organization is helping out the victims affected by Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria. And Rays fans, we want you to get involved too. This weekend, make sure to come out to Tropicana Field. The Rays are collecting donations by Gate 1 and Gate 4 all weekend. Bring bottled water, canned and dry pet food, baby necessities, first aid kits, and soap. Make sure to visit youcaring.com/Rays Hurricane Relief for more information. And not to mention, if you get involved, you can receive 2 tickets for next season. Dwayne?
All right, Alex, thank you very much. This is not what the Rays want to see. Jake Odorizzi leaving this game as he went to the mound. The Rays had built a 3-0 lead, and through 4 innings, Odorizzi had been very good again tonight. And we'll see if we can sort out exactly the nature of this issue for Jake. But that the bullpen gets a call, and so they're going to have to get somebody up and ready now on an emergency basis here. We'll take a look at the last warm-up pitch he took.
You could see the disappointment already. And you know, here's the thing. You've got a lead in this ball game, and you're 1 inning away from qualifying for a win. You know how badly he wants to be out there. So for him to have that face and basically pull himself off the mound, something's not feeling very well, obviously.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because it's been a great run for him here in September. He's actually thrown the ball with great vigor. It's almost as if he had started the season anew and had put this run of excellent starts together to come into this game 10-8. The Rays with a couple runs in the bottom of the 4th through 4 had built a 3-0 lead, and now Brad Boxberger is going to have to come in from the bullpen. So he'll get the time he needs to get loose. Call to the bullpen here, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Back in a moment. The 5th inning, and Jake Odorizzi leaving with an injury. A reminder, you can enter your Lotto Fantasy 5, our all-new Fast Play ticket in the Florida Lottery Game Day Cash promotion. You can win a 2018 Lazy Days RV motorhome. Over $200,000 in cash prizes, bowl tickets, season tickets, and more. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Well, Jake Odorizzi, very economical tonight. Through 4 innings, had made just 53 pitches. 4 innings, couple of hits, no runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. And he was on his game again tonight.
Yeah, more of the same. You know, good with the fastball. We saw the cutter. A couple of, you know, breaking balls, split change, and he sprinkled them in, but it was mainly fastball, cutter, and he was very good once again with those pitches. 2 hits through 4 innings, kept the Orioles off the scoreboard, and was one inning away from qualifying for a win for that, you know, to match his career high. But That's not going to happen. You just hope that it's nothing serious, more precautionary than anything else. But you know he wants to be out on the mound.
Yep. Brad Boxberger will now get the call. The Rays will get into the bullpen early tonight. Boxberger gets the call. The Rays used 6 pitchers in last night's game in New York following Jake Faria. And of course, the first game of that series in New York, the Rays used 6 pitchers following Blake Snell, including Boxberger in that one. He pitched an inning in the game in New York on Tuesday, gave up a hit, no runs, and picked up a strikeout. And now he's about to be ready to begin the 5th inning. The Orioles will have Trey Mancini to lead it off. See, the jackpot brought to you by the Florida Lottery, and the Rays bullpen since the 1st of August has been very, very good. It's been a busy bullpen and very good. Trailing only the Brewers in the major leagues in bullpen ERA.
Yeah, the only 2 teams under 3. And the Rays, you know, those guys have held up their end of the bargain. That is for sure. And boy, this time of year, Kevin Cash has so many options down there. Expanded rosters.
So here's Trey Mancini, and Boxberger's first pitch to him is a fastball down. Mancini followed by Castillo and Alvarez in the Baltimore 5th. And a near miss, but low and away. It's 2-0.
There's a tendency when you get thrown into games in the way that Brad Boxberger did, you rush your warm-ups. A lot of times you don't take as much time as you normally would. Now, bullpen guys, and Brad is a bullpen guy, those guys have a tendency to be able to get up and get ready quick. But you know, you get thrown into a game and all of a sudden that adrenaline kicks in. You've got to get that going. And I still don't understand the warming up right out in the middle of the field where everybody on the opposition can just take a look at you.
I was just going to say that. You know, it's so different. And you're right. I think there is a tendency. You're in the middle of the diamond, middle of the ballpark, trying to get ready. Well, the bullpen, you can get ready down there, but it's not that particular environment. There's an off-speed pitch to strike out Mancini. And I think you're right. That's an interesting concept that no one, to my knowledge, has ever explored. You're going to bring a guy into a game in an emergency situation. Well, let him warm up down there and come in and then make his final pitches maybe on the mound.
Yeah.
To get used to the mound again. But no, let him do all that down in the bullpen.
You should be given the option. If you want to get ready in the pen and save your last 5 for the mound, fine.
Yep.
You want to go out to the mound and show the opposition everything in your entire warm-up routine, you can do that too if you'd like. But you should have the option. I can't stand it.
Yeah. And then if in this case, if you're in the right field bullpen, you could get the entire bullpen to form a wall that would prevent, in this case, the Orioles from saying anything you were doing down there. I mean, just really take it to the extreme.
You could. Who's going to fund it, though?
The Orioles.
Make the Orioles pay for it?
Yeah.
I like that.
3-0 Castillo. You know, it's probably a good thing we only have 2+ games to go.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, there's the strike. They probably won't even let us call each other in the offseason for a while.
It's frowned upon.
That's Alvarez on deck. And a strike, and the count is full. Boxberger struck out Mancini, went 3-2. Got him swinging 3-2 here on Castillo. He looks at foul, out of play. Rays have Miller on the shortstop side of second base, the right-handed hitting catcher. fly ball back into center field. Borges to the track and has room, makes the catch. Couple steps left before he had to deal with the wall out there. So fly ball to center on the track. 2 gone in the 5th. And now Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez lifted a fly ball to left in the 2nd inning. It's fouled right back. The Orioles brought him back from AAA Norfolk on the 1st of the month. 239 at AAA this year with 26 home runs and 31 doubles. 1-1, so powers his game more than the average.
Which Oriole are you talking about?
Pick one. This one is up and away.
It doesn't even mean it's not even Oriole. What hitter in the league are you talking about?
More and more, that's the case.
Yeah. Boy, so many home runs hit. Another record set across the league.
And he hits a towering fly ball to center.
Uh-oh.
And here comes Borges.
Yeah.
He located it and made the catch. 1, 2, 3 for Boxberger.
Saw him standing out there like a statue at first. Get a little nervous.
We go to the home half of inning 5. It's 3-0. Rays lead. Fifth inning, the Rays lead this game. They scored a run in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th inning. And Evan Longoria will open it for the Rays against the left-hander, Wade Miley. Morrison will be next, and then Cesar Puello. First pitch is a strike, curveball in there. High foul down the right side. Out of play, 0-2. Hey, and a catch. Stayed with it. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
How about that, huh? That's the right thing. Hands it off. Oh. There's a shot back into deep left. Toward the corner. Does it have enough? Gone! Home run for Longoria. And that is number 20. Evan Longoria had been looking for number 20, and he got it. 5th consecutive season of at least 20 home runs and 9 in his first 10 years with at least 20 home runs. And he hit that one out on an 0-2 pitch to give the Rays a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, I'm sure that was weighing on his mind. And he finally gets that out of the way. And you can see the big smile. It's like when Souza Jr. got his 30th. That relief, it's over.
Here's Morrison chopping it foul. Strike one. Longoria, 5th consecutive 20-plus home run season. Second third baseman in big league history with 20 or more homers in 9 of his first 10 years. Shares that with Eddie Matthews. How about that when it comes to home run hitting third baseman? That left-handed power bat of Eddie Matthews.
A pretty nice company.
Yes, it is.
And consistent production. Well, it's just a testament to what he's been able to do here for the Rays, and not done yet.
Morrison chops one foul, knocked down by Rocco Baldelli. Here's the home run again.
Trying to come in and didn't quite get it there, and Evan just yanked the hands through and got the ball airborne.
Rays with 4 runs, 4 hits tonight. There's a liner that will be fair. Beyond the bullpen, bouncing down into the corner. Extra bases for Morrison. He's in at second with a double. For Morrison, his 22nd double. The Rays open the bottom of the 5th with a home run and now a 2-base hit. And that will get Buck Showalter out of the dugout and marching to the mound to make a pitching change. 2 hitters into the 5th inning. That's going to be it for Wade Miley. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. A little wet outside, dry inside, and the Rays have a 4-0 lead. Evan Longoria opening the bottom of the 5th with his 20th home run of the year, and a double by Logan Morrison has chased Wade Miley from this game. 90 pitches through 4+ innings. You saw the walk total there.
Yeah, that definitely hurt the Rays.
Tillman.
You got to be able to capitalize. You can get those base runners. You got to be able to get them in. The Rays did that and chased.
The chopper foul. First pitch from Tillman to Puello.
Well, that would have been a nice way for Puello to get another hit.
Yeah.
You hit one off the Well, the staircase up there between the speaker, yeah. And then how about chop one right off the plate with some hang time for another hit?
Rays with his 4-run lead and a chance for more.
I got to say this too, Dwayne. I think that the 16th Street substation is in the crosshairs. You can hear the rain. There you go.
Yeah, we've heard that rain for the last inning or two.
Torrential.
Yep. Ground ball shortstop. Beckham's throw is in time to get Puello. And Logan Morrison remains at second. He's there with one out.
Third baseman, Trevor Blue.
Hard throwing right-hander Ryan Standing up in the bullpen for the Rays. 4 innings from Odorizzi before he left. Boxberger had a 1-2-3 fifth. And now Plouffe. He has struck out and popped out to second. Which is down 1-0. That's a strike. Rays saw Tillman on the 24th. It was Sunday in Baltimore. Scored 4 runs off him in 4 innings. Kiermaier and Sucre hit home runs off him in that outing in Baltimore. Back into the screen. And it's now 1-2.
Boy, another down year. Well, not another down year, but Wade Miley having an uneven year for the Orioles, and then Chris Tillman, of course. You know, this is a guy who's won a lot of games for this ball club, and he had a down year.
Yeah, he was 16-6 a year ago for this team.
Yeah, hard to figure. The stuff has not been the same. That's the one thing that jumps out at you. Not the same velocity. The pitches, you know, more of a roll to the off-speed pitches than that sharp break.
He's at the end of his deal with Baltimore. It'll be interesting to see where he winds up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got a potential for a reclamation. Bring a guy back, like you said, he's a year removed from winning 16 games.
He strikes out Trevor Plouffe. So, ground out and a strikeout. That'll get Kurt Casale up here. Take a look at Tillman the last 3 years. 11 wins in 15. Then last year 16-6 and 1-7. There have been some physical issues, including shoulder issue. Sally takes the pitch down 1-0. Kurt with a base hit and a run scored in the 2-run 4th. He's got a run in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, another one in the 5th. It's a strike, and it's 1-1. All 4 of the runs off Wade Miley, and Morrison out there at second base. The responsibility of the Baltimore starter. Two balls and a strike. Rays and the Orioles tomorrow night, and then Sunday afternoon to wrap up the regular season. Sally taking one too low, and that runs it to 3-1. Rays trying to finish third in the American League East. And a win tonight would do that. Close for ball 4. Casale walks. And Brad Miller will get an opportunity to swing the bat in the 5th inning. And for the first time tonight, he'll be facing a right-hander in Chris Tillman.
Well, the Oriole pitching staff here tonight not helping themselves at all with the walk. What is that now? 6 free base runners for the Rays here tonight.
Well, Miller had an RBI single off Tillman when he faced him Sunday in Baltimore. The pitch is low and blocked by Castillo. Two men on, 2 men out. Goria opened with his 20th home run of the year. Near miss right there, just off, says Vic Carapazza. 2-0.
Yeah, another bad count. And Brad Miller, this is where you can start to get picky. This is where you can start to keyhole, look for one pitch, one spot, turn it loose.
And a pickoff play at second into center field. Morrison, by the time he got up and realized the throw had gone through, had no place to go except to stay right there at second.
Well, 2 things. Number one, you didn't pick Logan Morrison off and you had a chance at first base, so let's give it a try at second. And number 2, if you are going to throw wildly on the pickoff attempt, put enough hair on it that it gets out to the center fielder quickly and the guy can't advance. Beckham calling for it, that throw a little bit behind him. Morrison wondering what in the world is going on.
To chop out to Scope at second. Rays are out in the 5th. They settled for the 1 run on the Evan Longoria home run. Couple hits in the inning and 2 men left. And at the end of 5 on this home run by Evan, the Rays have built a 4-0 lead. Tonight's Geico great moment. This date in 2012. Matt Joyce belting 2 home runs after entering the game as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning, becoming the first player in Rays history to hit 2 homers in a game he did not start. Jake Odorizzi started this game, worked 4, left with a physical issue. Brad Boxberger came on for 1 inning and picked up a strikeout in that perfect inning. Now Ryan Stanek is on here to work the 6th.
Triple-digit fastball. Sure you're going to see it. So, yep, start him off with that changeup.
First pitch is in there, a strike to Hayes. Austin Hayes, the number 8 hitter, playing center field tonight. Two.
Boy, 3 straight off speed for Stanek. Don't see that very often. Not with the fastball that he features.
1-2 pitch, and the fastball is popped up foul, out of play. Santander is on deck. Take on a pitch low. It's 2-2. That's a cut and a miss. 1 away in the 6th inning. Let's quickly check in with Alex.
Hey there, Dwayne. We have an update on tonight's starter, Jake Odorizzi. He has left tonight's game with right knee soreness since this is his final start of the season. The Rays say there was no reason to push him. Guys.
A little issue with his right knee.
Yeah, that would be the push-off leg. So you don't want to mess around with that at all. And you don't want to call it a meaningless game. But as far as going anywhere after the season's over, playoffs, nothing on the line, it certainly meant a lot to Jake Odorizzi because he wanted to finish the season strong, and he did do that. But boy, you'd like to have put yourself in position to win and, you know, get 5, 6, 7 innings in. He was well on his way, as efficient as he was.
2 strikes the count here to Santander. Yeah, you never want to be selfish in this game, but it would have been nice for him to have pitched another inning, qualified for what, if the Rays hold on to this, his 11th win of the year. That would have matched a career high. Borges out there in center field takes care of that, and 2 gone.
And you know, the thing is, as a starting pitcher, you know, your mindset, I'm towing the rubber tonight and I'm winning the game.
Yep.
Now, you know, I want the team to win, of course, but the team does win if I win.
That's right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And so I guess the fallback to all that would be, well, if I don't get the win, as long as the team wins, I can live with that.
Yeah.
But you want to win every single time you step on the rubber. That's why you do it.
You should. Well, that should be the mindset.
Yeah. And doggone it, you do get greedy in those instances. We're going to win this game. I'm going to be the guy that goes 7 and puts us in line. You guys can finish it off if you'd like, and we win the game. I get the win, you get a save, and you get a hold. Somebody gets a game-winning RBI, and you know,
yeah,
let's go enjoy some frivolity.
All ends well. It's a ball and a strike. That formula is so basic, not difficult to follow. Sometimes difficult to execute.
Well, hey, and I can be the first one in line to tell you it didn't happen as often as I'd like. But that's the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it should be, one would think. Beckham with a 1-2 count. He's grounded out and struck out.
Don't make me go all Herm Edwards. You play to win the game.
Yes, you do.
I'm here just to play.
Right.
Accumulate. No. Dubs. you don't get into the playoffs because you did really well in some categories.
They don't have all the other categories in the standings and wins and losses.
Last time I checked.
Swing and a miss. Beckham out on strikes for the second time tonight. 3 up, 3 down against Stanek. Rays have a 4-0 lead. Tonight's deeper coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile. Well, the Cleveland Indians with 100 wins, third time in franchise history, back in 1954 and in 95. And with 100 wins under their belt, they're going at it again tonight, leading the White Sox 10-1 now. Daniel Robertson lifts a fly ball into shallow right. Santander's there to make the catch. First down at the bottom of the 6th. And how about the Astros, as they're going after 100 wins?
Yeah.
And what they're doing in the scoring department recently is unbelievable.
Well, you had that, Dwayne, and I'll try to remember exactly how that graphic was set up. But right about here, it was 12-2 in their last 14, and then down here you had Carlos Carrasco, and he's 11 for his last 14. If you can check those numbers out.
The Astros have a 3-2 lead at Fenway tonight, as they're after their 100th win. There you are, 6.9 runs per game.
Close
in that stretch.
It's close. I mean, 12-2, and
hey, it's a photographic memory. It's a steel trap in there.
Just see it once. See it once and just freeze it.
Yeah.
It's like an X-ray.
Borges lifts it into right field. Santander back into his right for this one. 2 putouts for the Baltimore right fielder in the bottom of the 6th. 2 up and 2 down. First time both Rays hitters have been retired to start an inning since the first. Here's Steven Souza Jr. He has struck out and walked and lined to Davis at first to end the 2-run 4th inning.
That was a heck of a play on a ball that was blistered.
And then a couple men on, and that ball was headed into the right field corner. Davis caught it. Instead, it was the 3rd out of the inning. Souza ahead in the count, 1-0. Nothing. Rays tonight, 4 runs, 5 hits. The Orioles, no runs, 2 hits. 2-1. Three balls and a strike with Evan Longoria due to be next if Susie Jr. keeps the inning going. Coming in on Souza as he fouls it. Full count. There's Tillman on the mound. Followed Wade Miley, who gave up a home run and a double in the 5th, and that was it for him. 4 runs, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 5 walks, and a home run. There's Charlie Montoyo backing out of the way. Down to the bullpen.
Sure-handed, take a knee, got plenty of time.
And distributing a souvenir. Pitch is just a bit low for ball 4. The Rays will get a base runner in the 6th inning as well. So they've had men on base in every inning except the 1st, and this one will get Evan Longoria to the plate with Souza Jr. aboard.
Another walk for the Rays. What is that, number 7 now? Just continue to accumulate the walks. You know, for as aggressive and free swinging as the Rays can be, they will take their walks.
Evan homered his last time to get to 20 on the year. Which is a strike. Home run came in an 0-2 pitch.
Trying to crowd him. You better get it in there. So Wade Miley do that a lot here tonight. Even some tough counts, some full count fastballs into righties and lefties. And that's the danger. If you don't get it all the way in, those pitches tend to get turned on.
Two balls and a strike. Into center field, cutting across. Hayes makes the catch, and the Rays are out. In the 6th, the walk and a man left. On to the 7th inning, 4-0 Tampa Bay. On to the 7th inning we go tonight from Tropicana Field. And here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. The pregame shows presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Chris Archer will be on the hill. We'll hear from the Rays right-hander, and Arestas will break down the 2017 season of Steven Souza Jr. Ryan Stanek had a 1-2-3 6th inning, 2 strikeouts, one on an off-speed pitch and the other on a slider. And there's a strike, a good pitch, a slider on the outside corner of the knees against Jonathan Scope.
Yeah, Stanek out here tonight almost working on the off-speed pitches. We've seen the slider. We've seen some good changeups thrown by him. Always have 98 to 100 in reserve.
Yeah, there's 98 just down. Some low heat there. Look out. Carapazza got that one on the rebound, I think. Appears to be okay. 1. Kittredge up in the bullpen. Dirt again, blocked by Casale. 3-1. Manny Machado is on deck. And the fastball is well wide. There's a leadoff walk to Scope. Well, you get down into the middle part of the order, you don't want to walk people in front of them. But a leadoff walk will put Scope at first, and will also bring a Jim Hickey sighting here as his pitching coach is on his way to the mound. Machado tonight has grounded into a double play and has doubled. Rays have a 4-run lead, and against this team of this power, you want to be careful, and you don't want to start putting people on base in front of hitters with that power.
Well, you do that, and the lead gets cut into with one mistake out over the plate, and it gets cut into in a big way. So expect Ryan Stanek, and I'm sure that was the message from Jim Hickey. Let's get back in the zone, get back to being aggressive. Certainly has the stuff.
Fastball away, 1-0. It's a strike at the knees, 1-1. Stanek, the third Rays pitcher. This one covered up again by Casale, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Two and 2 on the foul ball. All worked out down there on that one. Nice pickup right to that young man for a souvenir.
Place to be. Right man, the right time, and back to making plays.
Popped up foul and back out of play. Yankees and the Orioles concluding their respective seasons. Yankees beat Toronto today 4-0. Cubs beat Cincinnati 5-4. There's a block, and the count is full. So another 3-ball count. He went 3-1, walked Scope, now 3-2 on Machado. And there's power on deck. Chris Davis, power up and down this Baltimore lineup. Pop up, foul ball, and that will not be playable. Well, the ability for Stanek to make pitches. Great arm, high velocity. The Rays looking for some consistency with the command of his pitches. It's going to carry out to Puello. That's the first out.
Well, that ball got in enough to just float out to Puello, and you're absolutely right. That's all it's going to take. You know, you think about the same thing with Alvarado. Another guy with a big fastball, real nice breaking ball, and his command has gotten better and better the more that we've seen of him. But that's the key for him too. And you talk about two potential pieces to this pen with big time power. Both guys capable of hitting 100. Stanek's been featuring that little split change up there and getting some good finish on it.
Want to know to Chris Davis, who has walked and struck out. One and one. Takes it to 1 and 2. Couple fastballs to get ahead. And he is out on strikes right there.
I'll tell you what, that was a changeup with some finish. Boy, that ball just tumbled right out of the zone. The split, it's there, and then it is not. And Chris Davis just could not hold up. That was nasty.
Strikeout number 3. There's Trey Mancini. Some nice sharp break on that one. Late break. Strike 1.
That was a swing right there that tells you that Trey Mancini was sitting on a fastball. You know, Stanek's got a big one, and it's going to force a quick decision. And he's up there ready to go, and all of a sudden you get one moving away from you, and he just took the swing anyway. Nowhere near it. That's what velocity can do for you.
1 and 1, and the mix of these pitches in this outing for Stanek also sends a nice little message.
Yeah. You know, we see Dellin Betances do that from time to time. You know, even when he's going really good, and he's not that right now. I mean, in fact, today, Yankees won that game 4-0. Tanaka strikes out 15 in 7 innings, but you go to Betances, and after 8 pitches, Joe Girardi went and got him. Only threw 3 strikes, gave up a hit, a walk, and he said enough's enough. So, but even so, you'll see him with a lot of curveballs early, just to get you off that heater. Everybody's so geared up for it.
The fastball is fouled away. 2 and 2. Well, 3 strikeouts for Stanek. You got Hayes on the change in the 6th inning. Beckham on a slider. Davis on the split. Now he's 2-2 to Mancini. He'll deliver another 2-2 with that foul ball. Top of the 7th. Rays with 4 runs, 5 hits. And Baltimore, no runs, 2 hits. Minor, that's going to be a base hit over Robertson's head and into left. Scope heads to second, and Mancini is aboard. Castillo's going to be the hitter, and Kevin Cash out of the dugout to make a pitching change on that base hit to left by Mancini. Call to the bullpen by the Rays, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Rays lead. Join the Rays this weekend for Shirts Off Our Backs. At each game, make a donation to the Rays Baseball Foundation. Receive a scratch-off card. You could win tickets to a 2018 home game, a jersey off a player's back, and or more. And every card is a winner. Castillo at the plate. Kittredge on the mound. The first pitch is the slider down and away out of the zone.
You know that what you just read, that is like the real life version of everybody gets a trophy.
Yep. Everybody's a winner.
Yep.
It's a win-win, win-win, win-win to infinity.
Huh.
The perpetual expanding economy.
Yeah. You listen. Apparently there's plenty to give away.
There's a strike.
And you know that becomes even bigger when you think about September. Expanded rosters. Rays have a lot of call-ups. That's a lot more jerseys.
Yes. That's exactly right.
We saw Danny Farquhar's jersey on the road up in New York. 4-3.
There's a nice pitch for a strike, and it's 2-2. Yeah, it's nice to have a jersey.
I love the new jerseys. The jerseys that we wore when I played, when you would sweat in them a hot summer day in Cincinnati on the turf, they felt like suits of armor. They were so heavy. These things are so lightweight. They are awesome. They really are. Comfortable. They don't shrink when you wash and dry them. Like, you know, that happened to the Yankees that one year. Tough time playing after that first game. Got tightened up on them a little bit, but.
Two, strike three called on the 3-2 slider. Castillo takes that. 2 men left. And the Rays have this 4-0 lead as we head out to Rich Hollenberg and Orestes Pastrana out there in left field for the Jeep Compass game break.
Rich in the Big O inside Tropicana Field for your Jeep Compass game break. It is a shutout so far by a number of Tampa Bay pitchers, but more so than the pitching, the offense has come back to life. Not just using the long ball, which Longo did on his 20th home run.
Manufacturing.
But also manufacturing runs to get this 4-run lead.
Well, something that neither of these two teams do. But you know what? One thing Longo has done well this year has been one of the leaders in sacrifice fly. This is not one of them, but he's able to manufacture a run by just hitting a ground ball up the middle. You know, how many times do I talk about if you hit up the middle, good things will happen with runners in scoring position? There it was. And also, if you walk, good things can happen, especially with the bases loaded.
Just like your Little League coach would say, a walk's as good as a hit. And then Peter Borges, speaking of hits, he hit one deep enough to get a sac fly RBI.
You know what? He's playing hard. He's your, preeminent utility outfielder type. And here's your preeminent all-star at third base. Evan Longoria finally does get to 20. That's a big deal. Oh, by the way, remember when I said the pregame? Maybe if he has a huge series, he could get to 90 RBIs. He's at 85.
And you know what? He's leading the team in RBIs right now. Only Mike Schmidt has led his team in RBIs as a third baseman more than Evan Longoria. That is pretty good company. Our big story, staying in the American League East. Another 4-0 score. This time, it's the Bronx Bombers in day baseball, getting the 4-0 win, supporting Masahiro Tanaka's 15 strikeouts. That's a career high for him.
How about that? Tanaka with 15 strikeouts in 7 innings. And you know what? Yankees played small ball too. There's the biggest of the small ball, 6'8", 275 pounds. Aaron Judge driving in another run, and it just keeps on going. There's Greg Bird. Remember, I've talked about Greg Bird could be somebody special in the playoffs.
All right, let's get you back to the rest of the O's and the Rays inside Tropicana Field.
All right, fellas, thank you. Logan Morrison has taken the first pitch wide. Morrison leading off the bottom of the 7th against Chris Tillman. Tillman took over for the starting pitcher Wade Miley, who pitched 4 innings plus. 1-0 to Morrison. Wide again, 2-0. Puello next, and then Plouffe. So 3-0 count here.
That spot is not working.
Magnet.
I mean, really, well, and you know what? Here's the thing. Castillo has been set up in on Morrison, and all those pitches have been wide. There, he finally got one in there.
Morrison swinging, 3-0, fouls it.
That can be frustrating. You know, you're trying to mentally make that adjustment, and pitch after pitch, and you keep leaving them in the same spot. You're like, what? Okay, what am I doing here? I need to figure it out, like, on the fly, and I need to figure it out right now. Finally did.
There's a high shot back into deep right. That one is well gone. Home run by Morrison, his 38th of the year. And the Rays make it 5-0. A career home run year for Logan Morrison, and he adds on with number 38.
Baltimore all night has challenged Logan Morrison middle in. And here in a 3-1 count, look at this. Just a spinner in the middle of the plate. And spinners get crushed, Dwayne, as well they should.
And a prime example. Puello chopping it foul. Cuello has a base hit, the run scored.
That is such a dangerous pitch in a 3-1 count too. Yeah, it's almost like if you're trying to go in, you're trying to back foot it, but you typically wouldn't do that in a 3-1 count. That's not the count to go to that area. So you just wonder what Chris Tillman was thinking there. I guess just throw a strike because they have trouble doing that.
Rays with a couple home runs tonight. Longoria hit one in the 5th, and now one here in the 7th inning by Morrison. It's 2-1. The count on Cuello. Three and two. Foul. Tillman a little over 40 pitches now. He's made 41. 21 balls and 20 strikes.
Yeah, not exactly the breakout that you're looking for, but that has plagued the Orioles here tonight between Miley and Tillman with the number of walks and deep counts that they've had. Makes it difficult.
Cuello will head to first, hit by that pitch. So a home run and now a hit batter.
Number 14, third baseman, Trevor Blue.
Trevor Blue about to step in. Blue 0 for 3. Been between a couple strikeouts, a pop to second. That's a strike. Blue delivered a pinch hit home run in New York last night en route to the Rays victory up there. It's a 9-6 final. 1-1. And now we go to 2 balls and a strike. There more pitches out of the zone than in. And another one down. 3-1. This has been an issue this year in what has been a very difficult season for Tillman.
You know, and all the times that we've seen him here in 2017, he's never. And you couldn't say this in previous years because we've seen plenty of them, but this season in particular, he's never looked comfortable on the mound when we've seen him. And that has led to, location that's hurt him. Or in this case, you're falling behind and a lot of balls out of the zone.
And he misses wide. So a homer, a hit batter, and now a walk as Plouffe draws the base on balls, pushing Cuello up to second base, and Buck Showalter comes out of the dugout, and he's going to make another call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery.
2017 Jeep Compass. Right now, well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2017 Jeep Compass for $119 a month.
Well, the veteran Chris Tillman out after 2 innings. He leaves with 2 men on and nobody out in the 7th. Jimmy Yacobonis will make his 14th appearance. He's 2-0 with that .482 and inherits Puello at second and Plouffe at first on to face Kurt Casale.
Well, walks too have been an issue for Yacobonis.
And the first pitch gets by Castillo, and that advances both runners into scoring position. Fastball down and away.
You know, and here's the thing, these guys trying to throw so hard. I mean, just imagine you come into a ball game, you know, first and second, nobody out, first pitch fastball down and away, and you just yank it right to the backstop. This isn't even close, and that's a heater.
So the wild pitch sets up second and third with nobody out. Shot into right center. Caught out there. The tag at third. Puello will score. And over to third goes Plouffe. So Casale drives in the run. The Rays now lead 6-0.
Well, that extra 90 feet hurts. Instead of a line out, runners on first and second, maybe you could get a runner to third, but that would have been Casale. He may not even have challenged him.
Yep.
Instead, you throw the ball to the backstop, and Rays are able to capitalize, which is something that they've done all night long.
Brad Miller, a pitch way high and grabbed by Castillo. Fastball in the opposite direction there. Down and in, a fastball missing. 2-0. Yacobonis up on the first of this month from Norfolk. He had gone 4-0 with a 132 in 41 games at Norfolk this year. Missing by wide margins here tonight.
And he really, I mean, outside of the ball that was lined into right field, he hasn't been close to the zone, and it's all over the place. You know, the first pitch fastball was down and away, and then you're way up and out of the zone, down and out of the zone. I mean, he's hit all 4 quadrants and then some. Look at the spray chart there on Fox Tracks.
And that's a strike on the corner. 3-1. Fly ball back into deep center. Hayes will go to the track, deep part of the park there to make the catch, and the tag will score the run. So the Rays get another run home, and it's 7-0. A couple of sacrifice flies following the home run. The Rays have scored 3 in the inning. Well, the bases are now empty, but the Rays have 3 runs home. Daniel Robertson at the plate. And a fastball up a bit and right down the middle, strike 1. On the edge, 0-2.
Finally was able to get to a breaking ball by virtue of that first pitch fastball for a strike.
A fly ball lifted into center. That'll be caught by Hayes. But the Rays score 3 times. The first one coming on the home run off the bat of Logan Morrison. It's 7-0. It's a 7-0 ball game. The Rays have one more run than they do hits. As we go to the 8th inning, Evan Longoria has belted a home run to get him to 20. Logan Morrison hit number 38. We go to the 8th. Pedro Alvarez takes a strike from Andrew Kittredge. Kittredge came on and got a strikeout of Castillo to end the top of the 7th, and now he opens the 8th. Alvarez 2 fly balls, and the count is 1-1. Ball 2 strikes.
Pretty good finish on that little breaking ball there by Kittredge. He's another guy, you know, when you think about that breaking ball there, and he's got good velocity on the fastball. No shortage of arms in this Rays organization.
And that slider takes care of Alvarez. So the second strikeout for Kittredge, and the Rays staff has 10 on the night. Austin Hayes chopping one foul. And Dickerson, the third base coach, makes that play. He's 2 for 2 tonight, fielding those ground balls.
The whole left side has tightened it up. Down in the bullpen, in the coach's box.
That's a tough play on the tap. And Plouffe will just let it roll, and it's going to stay fair, and that's an infield hit for Austin Hayes.
Right fielder, Anthony Santin.
hits. 4 hits on the night. Here's Santander, Anthony Santander, the right fielder.
Well, you don't think news travels fast? Limited number of ABs for Santander, and that has not stopped the Rays from putting the shift on. They know all they need to about the way that he swings the bat. Plouffe kind of shading up the middle in the shortstop position. Everybody else on that right side.
2 balls, no strikes.
Of course, you're going to have Brad Miller right there. And he's going to be a little bit closer because you've got an opportunity here for a double play ball. So you're not going to play him that deep.
A big cut and miss on that pitch, breaking down and in. 2-1. Lifted on the infield. That's Robertson out there, a few steps into short center. Santander is 0 for 3, out number 2 in the 8th. We go back to the top of the order. Tim Beckham 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts tonight. Takes a look at the slider for a strike.
It's a sharp pitch, and it's been good for Kittredge here in tonight's outing. Down and into the lefties, down and away to the righties.
Now 1-1.
And there's that velo that we're talking about.
At a fastball for a strike. Two. Wide break on that one. Up. It's going to be a foul ball out of play. Holding the count at 2-2. Kittredge, pitcher number 4 for the Rays, and a ground ball toward the middle. Miller backhands and fires to first to get Beckham. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Bottom of the 8th coming, 7-0 Tampa Bay.
Big story, Dwayne, and that is up at Fenway Park. The Houston Astros, they did it. 100 wins in a 3-2 victory here over the Boston Red Sox. And you think about the Yankees, of course, won again today, so they gained another game. But what about the game that they gave away against the Rays last night? Had that 4-1 lead in the middle of the ball game. Sonny Gray came apart. The bullpen came apart. The Rays had a big fifth. Were able to pull out that win. And we talked about it last night that may come back and haunt them. It would be down to one game right now with 2 to play.
How about that?
And the pressure would be squarely on the shoulders of the Boston Red Sox.
Well, the Rays will have Peter Borges leading off the bottom of the 8th. A couple of changes as Borges lifts a high popper out from back of the plate. Castillo and in front about halfway to the mound, as it turns out. He makes the catch. Not an easy play for the catcher. Castillo grabbed it. And one gone in the Rays 8th. Scope has moved over, by the way, to play shortstop. Flaherty's in the game to play second base. Ryan Flaherty at second, and Scope replaces Beckham, who was moving slowly after he grounded out in the 8th inning. So he's out of the game. Here's Steven Souza Jr. Puts us down. Finally started, worked 4+, Tillman a couple. Gavonis took over, entered the game in the 7th, now 1 out into the 8th. Just a bit wide right there. 2-1. It's 2-2. He's down there at the knees.
Boy, everything out there with Yacobonis quick twitch. I mean, he comes set, and then there's a lot of sudden movements. He's got pretty good velocity, and the breaking ball. The key for him is being in the zone. Looks like a lot of young guys with good arms.
Full count right now. Rays with a 7-0 lead. And Souza takes ball 4 too low. That's the 9th walk drawn by the Rays. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by W.B. Mason. Richard Orestes will be along. He'll take a look at Longo's 20th home run. 5 years in a row, and 9 out of 10, at least 20. Here from Kevin Cash, and Alex Cordray will have interviews from the clubhouse. Alex Smith on to hit in the place of Evan Longoria. Longoria with the 5th inning home run, his 20th of the year. Strike to Smith. 1 on with 1 out. Souza Jr. the runner. Pop foul back a third. 0-2. Steve Cishek up in the bullpen for the Rays. is and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tanner Scott is up in the bullpen, a left-hander for Baltimore. Logan Morrison is due next. Still a ball, 2 strikes. Rays got their opening run back in the 3rd. An RBI fielder's choice ground ball by Longoria. He has 2 RBIs tonight. The other one, the 5th inning home run. Smith hitting in his place, and a base hit into right. Will send Souza Jr. up to 2nd. So Smith is aboard. 2 men on with 1 out. Logan Morrison on his way to the plate.
First baseman, number 7, Logan Morrison.
Morrison has a walk, a double, and a home run. He struck out in the 3rd inning, connected in the 7th with his 38th home run of the year. Pitch is a strike. There's another look. And Logan Morrison connecting in the 7th inning.
Boy, 3-1, a 3-1 hanger. And he got every bit of it. Got a chance here to make a little push for 40. There's a couple more.
Well, the franchise home run list has Carlos Pena holding the first 2 rungs with 46 and 39. Then Morrison now with 38. Longoria last year with 36. One and two. Wide takes the count to 2-2. Well, here's something for you. The Rays have 3 sacrifice flies tonight. Club record's 4. The major league record is 5. So they've got a man at first, a man at second, with 1 out. So this is a big pitch in regard to trying to position the Rays to maybe get that sacrifice fly. We got that right.
Yeah, this is how awful this game has become. that we're looking for sac flies and we're counting them. I mean,
full count.
You know, at least the Rays are out in front here because this has been painful.
Yeah, it's not good the other way around at all.
No. Oh no.
And there's ball 4.
I mean, that's double digits now in walks.
That's right.
Yeah.
10 walks given up by Baltimore pitching. The bases will be loaded. Well, the Rays record for walks is 12.
Ooh. I actually have a hard time. Well, not that I don't believe it. I just cannot believe. It's weird that the major league record for sac flies is only 5.
I know. I thought that was. I was in serious consultation with Rick Odioso here, and we never doubt him.
No.
And that's the case.
That's a fun fact.
It did seem strange to me that it was only 5.
Yeah. But hey, we could close in on it here.
Yeah, the little tapper foul by Puello here. Well, the Rays have Souza Jr. at third. He can run. 1 out. Bases are loaded. So we'll see if Cuello can get the ball airborne. Give the Rays a chance to tie a club record here in the sacrifice fly department. See how this inning has worked out?
Yeah.
Give us that opportunity.
Yep, you've got to give yourself something to look forward to. Silver lining.
Oh, and a ground ball to short. Scope to Flaherty and over to first. They get the double play instead. And so we go to the 9th with the Rays leading 7-0. Baseball on Fox Sports South is brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. 7-0. The Rays lead this one. Going on to the 9th inning. They about hit Baltimore 7-4. Couple of Rays home runs in the game. Steve Cishek will be the new pitcher, with Scope due to lead it off. Then Machado and Davis due up. And pitcher number 5. Well, here's the other thing we have to determine: who will get the win should the Rays close this one out with this 7-run 9th inning lead. There's a strike to Scope. Here go to Rizzi left with the knee issue after 4, so he doesn't qualify.
Yeah. Well, you just hope that Jake is all right and it's nothing serious.
Casale takes care of that as Cishek gets the first out. Catch to first. So Boxberger worked an inning, then Stanek an inning and 2/3, Kittredge an inning and a 1/3.
Who do you think the leader in the clubhouse is?
I think Boxberger.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I'll go with what.
Yep, that's in the hands of the official score. That's what we're thinking right now. Eddie Machado, and there's a strike at the knees. I'm going to pencil that in right now.
Yeah, with confidence.
Yeah. Put his full name in there. High pop foul. That's going to be out of play. 0-2. The Rays also trying to take the advantage in the season series. It was 8-8 going into play tonight. Rays trying to nail down 3rd place in the AL East. Machado started to go, checked on the pitch coming in. It's 2-2. Did he go? Yes, that ball sweeping away, and he could not check. So the Rays 1 out away from a win here tonight. On a night when the Rays drew 10 walks, Rays pitching now has 11 strikeouts. And a strike on the first pitch to Chris Davis. One, Odorizzi 4, Boxberger 1, Standing, Kittredge, and Cishek. The ball followed. Bill Castro pitches tomorrow for Baltimore. Fritz Archer for the Rays. There's a strike, and the count is 1-2. You saw Longoria there in his 20th home run tonight. And again, 5 seasons in a row, 20 or more, and 9 of his 10 seasons with at least 20 home runs. Logan Morrison hit his 38th tonight. Now the 2-2 and a cut to miss. Davis out on strikes, and the Rays win this one. It's a 7-0 final. 7-0 with 10 left for the Rays. No runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 4 left for Baltimore. Boxberger the winner, 4-4. Miley the loser, 8-15. 3 hours and 6 minutes the time of this game before 21,142 at Tropicana Field tonight. For Brian Anderson and Alex Cordry, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Rays are 7-0 winners tonight. Rays Live, the post game presented by W.B. Mason, comes your way next.